Alright.
I was gonna call this anyways, but it seems like Briar beat me to assembling everybody.
Honestly, I kind of had the opinion that we were going to have this conversation anyways after Kazrak, so wonderful. We'll all have something to share then. Actually, I'm quite curious, Asher, what you needed to enlighten us to. There wasn't anyone that you were communicating with? Certainly not Goria, at least not
In a
Baya.
way, it's that convoy, and he'll give everybody the details of what he saw in the first vision and then the second vision.
Oh. Does anybody else want to react to that? Well, that brings a lot of validity to what Kazrak talked about. It's not like we weren't aware of what was coming potentially, but to have so vivid of an example of how large and close, I'm glad that the forces, those Windian forces that were there, were elected to side against the Horde and stop their slaughtering. But it only solidifies just how grand this issue is. And then, for brevity's sake, I too will also elaborate the entirety of the conversation I had with Kazrak in the dream state.
Yep.
Morikir, all that fun stuff. And I guess at the end, ultimately, so I believe that what we need to determine is our next step. I'll also say, too, I've already elaborated about the Kalandra portion as well. So we have two potential destinations. Obviously, they could be connected, but they're taking us in opposite directions. We've yet to communicate with Zutha, though I don't know if Sirach is as at risk as I initially may have thought or worried. Where do you think we should go next? I can always speak with Zutha to get his opinion. I know he said to give quite some time. And I have my own reasons for wanting to travel east. But there's pertinence there. I think if Jothrin believes Kalandra is as powerful as she is, and more importantly, Headmother Catherine believes she's as powerful as we honestly know she is, we can't let anything happen to her. So, this is a democracy. It's everyone's thoughts.
Depending on where Kalandra is, and if Jothrin needs to cut her off at the pass, we should arrange a neutral, secret place for them to meet. Pretty safe, depending on where she is. Maybe one of the network's safe houses, perhaps. Through my dad.
I agree. In fact, I wouldn't mind if your father was in the area, if not directly present. I don't know what he can accommodate, but it's a skill set to have around if so. But we are availed the ability to pick the destination. You just need to tell Jothrin. But I'm confident that he's already interacting with Kalandra in whatever channels he can, and she won't be making it to Kinghaven. That's just, yeah.
Maybe too far to be useful, but There are plenty of places we could send her.
It was more so me just vocalizing. Your father is a very capable individual. Well, I wasn't going to get my hopes up. What do you think would be the best? The only other destination I could think that is en route for her and her party would be technically diverging. I'll look to Rowan, your kingdoms? But I don't know if that's convenient, or just how secure it might be. Are we thinking often where?
I'm looking to my mother, who mentioned before that she would be eventually making her journey back to the Sun Kingdom. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea. We know it's going to be safe. Ish, we have yet to create bonds within the people of the Sun Elf Kingdom, but it could be a safer option.
It's certainly a higher profile, though, the isolation, it being the Sun Elf Kingdom. But maybe something more clandestine is the better approach. Go somewhere where we're not going to draw attention in the first place. It's guaranteeing the security. But I feel that if Jothrind, ourselves, if we're there, we'll be capable enough.
City that you were suggesting for a meeting place? The other one?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Briar would probably be better at a recommendation for anything that is outside the Amaran between here and there.
Fucking Wafton.
Again, it was a name that stuck. It's a place we walked past. I'm not terribly familiar.
I would rather her just be inside of the Emerald.
Well, I have to agree with Bree. We're gonna go to a town full of halflings. Look at us. We're gonna stand out like anything else in that city. We're not gonna be nonchalant. It's not gonna be passive. People will take note.
I will say that his intention with that was that there is a lot less human presence there. Even those within the Amarand are technically conscripted more so than even the halflings into different armies and stuff. So they actually have technically a closer connection to, in some ways, the Kingslands. It's more through like, so they're their own free entity. It's complicated in that regard, but like they're their own free entity. But yes, but they they actually have more of a military presence than most of the halflings and the halfling cities and there's halfling villages. So that was like the intention of what he was saying for that. So it's less that you'll blend in. It's more so that like there's just less to worry about as far as military presence there.
So, Maria, I have to defer to you. You're the one. You're the daughter of the spy master. I thought you knew these things.
But do we need to be there for Kelondra and Jothrind? What about what Asher has seen? That seems...
That's why we need to speak with Zutha.
If I may intertwine here, from what I've heard of Asher's visions, his druidic visions, though it is still a concern, it has seemed to have resolved itself to a certain point. Calandra, of the stories you have told me, if we were to get her on our side and get the Temple of the Light Folly on our side, that's just another person we have in our corner when we go back to fight that queen you guys mentioned.
would have to say that one of our baseline options, or not options, one of our objectives in the ultimate goal of quelling whatever evil is permeating from the west is we have to deal with Belbeth. Be it that she is routed and made unable to intervene or stand against us, even if she does take a position against the undead hordes, which is more likely considering what Asher saw. It doesn't mean she won't be an antagonist to us. She absolutely will use every resource at her disposal to work against us in the background, whilst everything else is transpiring on a grander scale.
Have we considered reaching out to Coel?
Yes.
That might be a first step.
Or
With
a third.
Belbeth.
If
That is not
I
a bad
think-
idea. Ella kind of chimes in with herself, looking down, and kind of like you see this, like, again, that same weight of, like, essentially that burden that she now bears with her queenship returning to her in a way unexpected, and then looks back up to the party. With great power, such as an army that I now have, there also comes the temptation to use it. And the more political figures we can have to never even have to attack Kinghaven, that is the best case. I don't want to have to send an army. So many innocents, or those just doing what they're told, losing their lives. The more figures like Kalandra, as Cole was saying, Lord Zuther, any that we can get that can affect Belabeth politically, rather than just by sheer force, is a heavy responsibility.
And on top of that, whatever's happening in the West, it sounds like the team over there took care of it, but whatever's left to pick up the pieces, if it does fall on us, we're going to need someone powerful like Kalandra to... If she could do whatever she did to that Moonwell, she might be able to do something for these people that have been cursed.
Mhm.
Alright, so we get in communication with Zuther and Coel.
Yes.
Communication. But we make our way to Kalandra. That sounds like a plan.
It's often that you speak up. Bree.
Yes.
Can be anywhere else.
The percentage of human that is there is lesser.
Very
than
much
others.
so. Yes. It is very much halflings. We go there to drink. Well, most people go down there to drink, but I think the grog is pretty ass. But, if you're asking about people like you, you will not see me.
And my vote is for often.
Never thought this fucking day would come.
Okay, but like seriously, that episode, do we just need to be drinking actual alcohol the whole entire time?
We're gonna make our IRL session the Lofton session.
I mean, the timing
might work out. That might be nice.
So,
Oh my gosh.
Kevron,
Yes, Bree.
I would love to put you in contact with Kalondra, but maybe I don't want to do it, but I could show her where to go, where she'd be safe, like a safe house. If we plan on making that the immediate destination. And then we'd have to show Jotrand as well so he knows where to go.
I have... Okay.
Yes?
How potent is this spell? How much power is required? And what I'm asking is what level? What level is the spell? This 5th level?
5th. Mm-hmm. What do you want to do, big boy?
Well, even though it would put what was recently imbued into it to waste, or at least it had to be utilized now, perhaps you could best tell Kalondra where exactly to go in your own words.
Okay.
If you put the spell into the ring, then Cole could actually give you the ability to experience your own magic. See exactly what it was I was trying so difficultly to convey.
Son of a bitch, that is fucking brilliant.
I just think it'd be easier rather than trying to draw me a map and relay it to her. Plus, I think I'd like to speak to her in person when I see her next.
I bet you would.
So I'm gonna cast a spell.
Well, I mean, considering I only have enough energy to do this once, as cool as it sounds, cool, and
It's cool.
it, regardless, I would have to wait till the next day to do it again. After a long rest. Oh, I could could just meditate for 4 hours.
Technically, you could do it twice in a day if you didn't have a full 8-hour dream sequence period. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. How about you guys go about your business and prepare us for leaving? If you decide to leave while I am doing dreaming, then carry me. But we have to be. Wait! I have to wait till they're sleeping.
I was just about to say that. Yes, you could make it work, but could they accommodate it? I guess you could always call someone and say, "Go to sleep."
Take some drugs. Go to bed.
Just send a message. Go to sleep. And
yes.
But regardless, I think a simple message is that you can speak with Kalondra. She'll know exactly where to go. Do you have, outside of just personal preference for whatever brew or whatnot, is there anything really concerning about Wafton? Why we should pick a different destination?
No. Wafton would be great. I mean, I've only slept with one person there where it went a little sour, but it's okay because she chose the guy over me anyways. So, not a big deal. Well, she's probably dead now anyways.
Well, hopefully we don't have to cross that bridge and encounter any romantic obstacles. That's rather depressing that she's probably already dead, but I mean, if we, we've got extra centuries that don't really seem to be much of a benefit yet.
And if she's not already, I could always slit her throat as well, so it's a win-win. I see it.
Though, again, I think we're going there because we want to maintain a low profile. I think that's a bit counterintuitive.
You're right. I'm sorry. My big brother came out for a minute. Apologies.
Appreciate that. And I'm confident Aurelia would have no issues. But
I'm pretty sure Aurelia would just slice her throat, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'm sure she wouldn't even have to. She could just threaten it. That's probably impactful enough.
Okay. I'm going to reach out to Kalondra. I don't want to wait. I'm very excited. Kalondra. Okay, I need you to find a way to go to sleep. If you have to take drugs, if you need to get punched in the face, I need to show you a safe destination where we can meet you. There is a lot that you need to be shown in a short amount of time. Briar.
I don't know if I'll be able to go to sleep right away. I think, well, what time is it for you? I
Like
suppose
9:30 in the morning, right?
just after sundown, I usually go to sleep. But it's good to hear from you.
Okay, so just be prepared to see me in your dreams, and you are making your way. Don't say it out loud too often. That is the location you need to get yourself to. I will show you a safe headquarter to go to.
In my dreams. Okay. Curious. Is this something I should go alone? Or how do I convince my current companions to carry on without me? Or do I need to ditch them?
Oh, Kieran. Should she ditch her party or keep them?
I would say
Ditch?
I don't know the people she's traveling back with enough. Jothrend will probably be the best advisor there. Because I know Jothrend's supposed to communicate with her. He's able to. I personally would say ditch, but I also don't want her to gallivant across it. She can't turn invisible like I could. Honestly, it was the only reason I felt comfortable doing it in the first place by myself.
Mm-hmm.
You and your father made that way easier.
If you trust them beyond the measure with your life, then you can keep them for a little bit, but it's probably better to ditch if you have not known them for long. This is about you. Huh?
So he'll be like, still mention Jothrend, like I'll run and say that in the background while you're talking.
Oh, yeah. She's just getting all these fragments. We are going to bring Jothrend to Wofden as well.
Takes a little bit more time for this one to get a response as it comes through. Just one after another. I just heard from Jothrend. He said what you said. It looks like I'll be traveling alone at some point. Wofden. Okay, dreams tonight. All right. I hope everything is well. This is a lot. Okay.
Okay. She's super confused, understandably so.
Considering everything I dumped on her the first we spoke last night, I can understand. She's learned a lot in a very short period of time, and she's going to be learning more. But, such is fate, I guess.
I had planned on doing this a little later. I've wanted to reach out to Jothrend, but not through me. She looks at Aurelia. And then Coel is... I've been thinking of a gentle way to craft it. So let's talk about who's first. First I show Calandra the door. Then, do I show Jothrend the way right away? Do we reach out to Uzuther or Coel?
Well, we still have quite a bit of day ahead of us. We might as well capitalize on that. Before you speak with Kalandra tonight, I had full intent of speaking with Zuther. Whether or not there's anything beyond that will be after I hear back from him. Coel is going to be a precarious conversation, and yes, I believe that it's probably best left to you. So, if that's something that you feel that you can articulate today, then that is it. Otherwise, we at some point do need to speak with her. It's not just Temple of Light that we need allegiance and allegiance from.
I've been plotting this since we left, of how to eventually reach her. But we need to... Is she vital right now? We've got a lot of people to reach out to. I need an order of priority.
Well, Kron, you mentioned Jothrin was... Wafton was his idea, correct?
It was a mention, but Jothrin said to let us know, and I shall. Though, if there's further communication between Jothrin and Kalandra that might already be conveyed, I'd rather be certain. So,
if he suggested it, I would almost say that he's already got a safe place in mind within...
He never suggested anywhere specifically. He just said the halfling lands. So
yeah, he said pick a place and we can pick the destination. So.
He just corresponded basically with that weird game of telephone that's happening where, like, literally as you send your message, he had already been sending his. His was just to say, hey, you're going to travel alone. I'm going to keep you updated. There's some stuff going on. Like, yeah. So that's why she was just kind of like, okay. So.
Her life got
poor Kalandra, yeah.
She's got one person on hold. She's got the other one coming in. She's going back and forth.
If we message Jothrin, tell him we will meet him in Wafton. He should have a place. He should be able to...
I'll give him a place. I'll show him where to go.
Then we will do it as such. Communicate with Jothrin and know the destination that you will convey to Kalandra tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That way there is no question of where we will be arriving and meeting. I'll communicate with her, at least so that he is aware of the situation and at baseline what we will be doing. I might not be explicit there, but either way. And then Coel will be when you feel it's appropriate. But ask Jothrin if you think there's anything, or I could even communicate with Bolvis to try to see if there's any observation that can be gathered. But I imagine Jothrin would probably be more privy, considering Chelsea is.
I'll give you a rough idea of my plans for Coel, so you can give me a little bit of input before going in, all of you.
Yeah.
It's going to be very detailed. So think about pertinent questions. Don't worry about it being me. Don't worry about voices. Don't worry about anything. Think about what information do we need to get across. And then I'll tell you the painting that will be done.
Right, so then it looks like you'll be conducting 2 long-term conversations then. One tonight and one at some point. I don't believe you'll be able to have, just based on what you're conveying to me with that conversation with Coel, it's going to be pretty drawn out. But we'll discuss.
Yeah.
For now, I think we have our baseline game plan. Is there anything else that anyone thinks is pertinent?
I have some messages left in the spells of the ring. I still would wish to talk to my brother before we load it back up.
And that's precisely what the other spell might be wasted, but yes, definitely use that sun to speak with your brother. And then we only need it to be done, at the hour before. Technically, it's a ritual, takes 10 minutes, right? So, yep, absolutely. That's why we put it in your ring in the first place.
Okay.
So remember, you don't have a lot of verbiage to work with. Be concise. Modernism still struggles.
Yeah.
So, do Zuther first.
Uh-huh.
And I will pop another spell. Zuther, it's Karan. Hopefully this is not too soon, but things have developed that we believe it's pertinent we speak with you. Hopefully everything is well, and you haven't had any interesting visitors, so to speak.
It's good to hear from you. Such a shame you got away. It is not too soon. I will say it's maybe too soon to make any kind of moves, but I'm doing what I can, at least on the political aspect of things. I hope all that you do keeps you safe and doing what you must.
I'll follow up with a response just to say, I'm glad to hear you are well, and that there were no necromantic occurrences in Sirach, and that it is safe. Be very leery of what might come over from the west to the Black Bridge, though it may not be as dire as it was even a day ago. We'll reach out when we feel that the time for motion might be at play as far as your involvement will go. Take care.
If you're referring to the horde that attacked a few weeks ago, well, most of that has been taken care of. We've marched a little bit further west, from what I've heard. And I know they're still hunting the few of them that managed to break the line, but most of that threat seems quelched. Actually, I haven't had reports in some time now. Not anything bad. Take care.
Well, there's no concern as far as the state of Sirach and Zuther. As far as I could tell, he's still very much allied with us. But I believe that it will still be a bit of time before there's anything more direct that we'll be able to do with him. At least we know he is still within our realm of approach. So too often then. basically be it for the whole Zarok Suther update.
Sorted.
Bree's tapped out until nighttime, so you guys do
Okay,
what you want.
you're fully tapped out. Okay, well
No,
then no.
no. I mean, there's nothing for me to do, so your days, all yours.
Okay, well, are we going to talk to Jothrin to verify Wafton? Were you going to do that, or?
I'm gonna show him. So my plan for tonight, Bree's gonna be tired because we're gonna be on like a journey afterwards, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna dream Kalandra, but I'm gonna make it a short one. Do my 4-hour rest to regain the spell slot, dream again, and then just be tired on our journey.
Okay, so then in that case, that means that... Alright, if we're going to orchestrate this, then Cole is going to have to give... He's going to have to do the ritual upon you early. Then you will sleep and converse with Kalandra, and then you will rest, and he will have to wake up so that you can re-imbue his ring, and then he can cast it again, and then you can go back. Okay.
Okay, so...
You can cast it directly on yourself.
I can do it on myself.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing.
So,
I thought it was only like you can touch
yeah.
something else. You can just do yourself then. We don't have to go through that.
I'll keep this on
Jump
me,
moves.
so that we can just store him up with what's needed. I'm okay with... We're going to be on the road, and I know that come what may, all of you will keep me as protected as possible.
As long as it's okay with Lady Aurelia, I will carry you, keep you safe while you do what you need to on the road.
Okay.
We
do
do
have
still
our
have the
horses.
horses.
Oh yeah! The kid. It's a good boy.
So we're gonna need you to get a big horse for you, Cole.
I haven't met one yet, but I would be interested to find one.
Or we can maybe invest in a wagon. It is still bright as day. It's early morning.
The only downside with a wagon would be what terrain we could traverse. But if we can't find something large enough to support him, then
I mean,
we don't have
then-
any options now, do we?
I've heard of there is a horse that is bigger than the regular. They use these horses for war. I don't know if Erendine has any of these, but that would probably be if possible.
I can inquire when I go into town.
Yeah, well, you know, they ain't the most, I mean, they're not speedy when they need to be, but they sure got endurance, and they're quite a workhorse without being a horse. The yaks, I mean, once you get further south, you might have to shave them, but they're big. They could carry you.
We've got options. That's better than none.
What is a yak?
Yeah, you know those,
That's what you do when you drink too much alcohol.
you know those little creatures that you've seen out there, bigger ones, kind of like a horse, kind of like a cow. They could hold you. I mean, they're meant for doing farm work, plowing, carrying logs out through the woods and all that. But usually I get them for the winter, and then, well, they've served their purpose after that. But I mean, it's not unheard of to travel on them.
The other
Again,
idea
you
is
might need to shave it up when it's getting a little bit warmer.
if we do travel on foot, we can fly for about 4 hours of it, just like we did up north, a day.
Well, we should probably start getting ready for our journey, whether that be tomorrow or the next day. But and I'm gonna go into my notebook and gently tear out the page of the transcribed commandments. This needs to go somewhere for the future. So, somewhere that people can locate it. So they know what can be done to help Von Sloth. So, if anybody wants to tag along with me, I'll be heading into town. Getting some supplies and probably making a stop to see Jazir.
Oh,
If you
we were in Lake Grasp. We're dealing with. And you saw undead?
I did,
Yeah.
Oh,
I still have the reconstitute and I have the formula still. Do you think it's the same kind of thing?
Well,
I save everything.
if we could capture or come across one of the infected, the zombified, we could try administering to see. I mean, what you mentioned happened was far beyond the scope of something chemical. That was certainly magical, but it's worth a shot. The thing is we would have to come across one to try it, wouldn't we?
What if? Oh, I am going to be a telephone. Do not like. What if I reached out to my dad and showed him how to do the potion, and he could like long range it somehow into something to see if it works and report back.
The problem is getting the corpse room is not as.
All right.
We need corpses for corpse rooms.
So we
Very
make
specific
corpses.
ones.
The only way. Actually, Amansar came up too. He's here as well, right?
no, he's not.
No.
Okay. Where did he
Amon's
act?
still in Lake Grass.
We wanted to initially invite him, but we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always communication with the Mansar to see if it has any ideas, regionally speaking, where we might be able to find something like that.
I will make note of it. Eventually. There's too
Yes.
many people to talk to now.
We have a
So
lot
we
of
need to-
options.
We need to stop making friends. This is not cool, guys.
I'd rather make friends than enemies, but
I would rather.
I don't-
Well,
I don't know how hard it is to do, and this is my knowledge of the Arcana. But the sending ability that Asher has with his wife, if we were able to copy that and get those two allies, future messages might be easier to communicate.
it's not something I inherently know. But obviously it can be done. We could look into it. It's a brilliant idea. I just don't know how to create that. It would be finding something that has it. But if we could, perhaps I can message Kazarak about creating one of those. I don't believe that
My
requires.
understanding is, Bree has mentioned before of enchanting items.
It would take a very long time. A
Yes.
very long time.
Yeah, the enchantments don't stick immediately. It's repetitive. If we could do something shorter span of time. But that might just be why and how the one that Corey and Asher possess exist. Because that
It's
one's
special.
done.
Mm-hmm. Magic is still a rare thing here. You can't lose sight of that. We just, we are lucky to be surrounded by it.
Yeah, certainly more than I've ever been exposed to. I mean, I guess I didn't marry someone magical, but
I was gonna like look at him. Sorry, go ahead.
What magic have you
Cole's good.
seen?
I mean, not a whole lot. Actually, first time I ever ran into some magic is, well, just you as a kid, actually. I mean, you was just a baby. Was, group of no goods. They, I ran into them. I was trying to take you to Grandpa's, and, turns out they got there first. A couple of them had some magic. I guess he tried to destroy something that they had or they wanted, and I guess I got there too late. I didn't even have anything on me. I wasn't gonna try something out with you there. I wanted to. I mean, they were, yeah, they weren't good people. But I guess they weren't all bad. They, let us go, so. If not for you, I'd have been a man of vengeance. Younger me, I suppose. And I'd have gone after them, but yeah, seen enough of that in this world. Had to pick my battles.
So, wait. They killed my grandpa? Over what?
I don't much know. They had some kind of artifact or something that they thought was valuable, or they wanted to pawn it off or something like that, and they said no hard feelings. Listen, that's just the way of things sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
Not a whole lot I couldn't have done in that moment. I don't know what they were all capable of, but I'd seen some things, you know, being held at, you know, magical hands. I didn't quite have much on me, not to fight how many there were at the time, and whatever they could do. You just didn't have the fight in you yet. You were just a little one, so you just kind of
give me a couple more years.
Yeah.
Okay, well. Okay. I honestly didn't know magic was a thing until I'm gonna point to Kuran and Rye. And Asher, remembering that he literally turned his hand into an animal claw and ripping out a man's heart.
Classic.
Starkly different now than the man that ripped a heart out of another guy's chest.
Yeah. I'm gonna give my dad a hug. I'm glad you're the man you are today. I pat him on the back. And
If they came and did that to your old man, you'd take him, right?
probably would have gone down the route of vengeance.
Make the smart choice. Pick your battles. Sips from his coffee and then makes his way over to Ella.
I'm gonna head into town. Get some food. I don't know if old Hilda on the corner has any potions, but I'm gonna go ask. Maybe she's got some juices that we could just drink on the road. I don't know. I'll go ask around. but
Okay.
this needs to go to somebody. Rowan's gonna go into town and with Evelyn, maybe a conversation her and I can have on the road, where it would be best to give the information for Von Salash. Do we give it to Shazir or do we take it to the library?
She basically, just for sake of taking that off your plate, essentially says that she'll have it copied with her scribes and like taken care of as far as like reprinted, because like that's important information that like has returned to time, I guess, or returned to relevance, like an ancient knowledge. So would be helpful to have some transcriptions of that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So have that in an archive somewhere.
Yes. Yes. What to do when mountain grumbles?
When it's
for dummies.
Yeah, for dummies.
Yeah.
Because I think Rowan wrote it in Elvish. Maybe would have attempted to write it in Common. Maybe with her help, he can do that. But I do want to see about getting just some basic stuff. It's Herondine, but you know, hell with it. I want to see if I can buy some potions, if I can.
So again, for sake of brevity, unless you need to have any kind of conversations, we can just do that off stream, and we'll just do some transactions and stuff. Just to that's an efficient D&Ding right there.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, and then just take care of that. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the only thing cool to ask is if you could see if there was a warhorse in town. If not, that
there wouldn't be. Not in Herondine.
Okay, so
You eat too much to survive up in the cold.
Yeah.
true.
Actually, horses aren't super common in Herondine altogether. Like it's farm animals and stuff, and like most things are just foot traveled on these like pretty narrow footpaths that trail up and down like sides of hills kind of thing, and through the pine forests. So it's just not super common to have horses. Yeah, special occasions they will, but no war horses. No need. Not the most like horse friendly environment as far as like the ups and downs of the hills and crags and stuff like that. It's just not worth it to like, you wouldn't do battle on horse around here. So like more of the plains areas, it would be like, yeah, we're gonna have the biggest, baddest horses we can have. So yeah, further south you would get that. Ironically enough, like war horses like you're seeking are most common to the halfling lands, actually, because those are like near prairie lands. But like, yeah, those giant horses are akin usually to the halfling lands. So further southeast. Yeah.
When Rowan comes back, he would be spending his time with his mom, his dad, and Evelyn as much as he can. He doesn't know when they're leaving.
Yeah.
So no RP involved. That's just what he's just gonna do.
Easy peasy.
And then Asher's gonna, after that conversation, just lock eyes with Coria and like point upstairs to have for him to like give her the full blind piranha recap. He's gonna sit her down in front of the computer and play all the blind piranha recap so she knows everything that went on in the last
Canon
53 episodes.
launches up Rowan's old Macintosh. plays all the speed recaps. Go ahead and give us a previously. Go ahead and do
it. Previously on Legends of Aelos.
Just like, wow, this is really good. It's canon.
Technically, if I was to do it, it would be like previously on Legends of Aelos. Almost like that.
Okay.
Imagine it's like a Sheikah slate. There's stones playing pictures.
Plays all the piranha recaps. Okay.
Who would continue to do his duties outside? He was, he found a pig that had a little collar on it that said named Crispy Bacon. I don't know where that came from, but
it's a good meal. It's a good meal. It's grown well in the past few months.
It's grown well.
Nobody doesn't know Crispy Bacon. Oh my gosh.
And when everyone else is done with theirs, he would like to send a message to his brother. But everyone else can do their thing, or is everyone
Go ahead and do yours first.
caught up? Okay. So Cole would trying to decide which brother to call, whether that be to call home to the tribe or to call to his brother that he knows is chasing his dream on the waters. I think he would message Xander and see. He would think his name and he would hold his ring and he would send it out, and
I've been given quick abilities to talk. And I want to know you're okay. You don't have many words.
It's hard being alone. Most of these weeks I've avoided people. But I found a group. Outcasts. They're nice. Traveling together. They talk a lot and play lots of music. But they welcomed me in. Headed south. I am well.
Cole would stop kind of what he's doing and just do a loud sigh. He would pick himself up, kind of dust himself off, and realize again he's covered in blood. And go to the person that's been a really great distraction for him and kind of reminds him of taking care of his brothers. He would go and see what good old Martison was doing.
As a reminder of the music, yes. Out back, bundled up in this stupidly oversized coat, he put just his little fingers, plucking away at his lute with just these fingerless gloves. He just plucking away. He's making actually pretty music that he's making right now, and just kind of humming a tune to that.
Have you written any new ones yet?
Constantly. I can't stop. This terrible place is such an inspiration to muse. It's amusing. It's amusing. Fucking brilliant. And he starts playing.
Who would kind of go? I'm guessing he's sitting on a bench, kind of like around the fire pit. Is that's what I'm imaging? Is that okay? He would go and sit down beside him and absolutely hate every word that he just said, but in the same concept, feel as though it was that banter with his brothers, and just sigh again and just put his arm or his hand on his shoulder. And he'd say,
I know a lot of people give you shit, but I'm grateful for you.
And would kind of squeeze his shoulder a little bit and just bring it back down and kind of put his hands between his legs, and knowing that his hands were just bloodied, probably just left a big bloody handprint right on his shoulder. But Cole's just like didn't even like acknowledge it, and is just kind of listening to his music and just in his own thoughts.
He actually stops playing as you say that, and then kind of like looks down and then blinks a few times and looks back up at you, with this kind of like almost snapped out of it or like snapped into reality look that he has. Thank you. That actually means a lot to me. I understand. I am the way I am, and it's annoying, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
After a few minutes of them just kind of him listening to him plucking away, he'll be like, well, better get back to packing, knowing that Murderson was probably not in that group and heard we were even leaving, and kind of just pat him on the back and just start walking away.
Yeah, he's playing again at this point for a little bit, and then he stops and then like removes the coat like a little bit, packing as you walk away. Anything anybody else wants to do? Do you want to get to your night stuff and then finish with that? There's a couple minutes left here.
He's got a lot of talking.
On our way back, Rowan's way back from shopping, could he have stopped by Thodrax and possibly inquired about maybe sharpening his both of his blades?
Like as in like to get bonuses, or just for the sake of
just sharpening the blade.
Of saying,
yeah.
Yep,
so.
Of course.
Okay.
So that can be kind of like a part of the chores. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
He shines them up nice and new. That road wear and field care as best you can.
Yeah.
They look great now. So
tune them up for the next leg of the journey.
Absolutely. Okay. Are you the drama? No. Are you? No. Stage is yours. Whoever you want to talk to, whatever you want to do.
Okay. She's going to take Karon's spot of where he sleeps. That is hers now. And she's going to lay down, put a feather in her hair, put ink on her mouth, get all snuggly cozy, and whisper Feraltin Andune, thinking of Calandra. Hopefully sleep will find them at the same time.
And this is you going to her?
Yeah.
Coronis. Okay, you. Okay. And with that, in the same sense, you experience all of that dreamlike state, this kind of blank canvas, and yes, it's exciting. It is grabby hands at this point, like to see and feel and witness your own kind of creation at work. You then begin to sort the pieces together as if like switching out assets. Or like, no, that's not the right one. That's it. No, that's not the right one. Like basically designing this area to match as best you can the area north of Wafton itself, kind of little secluded, almost hobbit hole. Sorry, halfling hole. And it's this borderline of a earthen home / log cabin. Like the face or the entrance, one wall of it is this almost log cabin. A different type of structure than the log cabins up here. It's just like a different type of architecture and carpentry that they do. It is moist here. The rains that seep below the mountain, the Kadar Mountains of the Amarand, close to home that there is, but a transition place, a little haven that your father would use to go, for the drunken nights. It was a good place to crash for the day, to stay out of Wafton itself. A very small, little, almost, very little place, not much even in there, even in the way of just like a bedroll and a table without even any chairs there. And in that, around the property, it's just this like kind of mossy forest, but again, like a brighter moss than the dark mosses up here, the cold dark of the Herondine. It's like in a lot of ways very similar, but it's its own kind of like its own different windy pine tree, or windy oaks and pine trees and such like that. And it's out up on a hill above Wafton itself, the wharf town, that is a good ways away, but where he would go to transition between the Emerald and the King's Lens sometimes. That was its ultimate purpose, but he would serve it as, was a place to stay sometimes.
And she'll get a good view of how warm and cozy it is, and she'll see a baby version of Bree and her dad, and she's just got her dad's hand with this little dagger, and she's up against a door frame, and she's measuring how tall she is and like making him carve it. So there'll just be a few little notches that she and her dad know about.
It does have almost like secret fort vibes kind of thing, and it is actually kind of a secret fort. In a way, it is a safe house, somewhat hidden because it is a earthen home, but the grounds itself with the well and the different like wooded area there around it is secluded enough that you could stumble upon it just by adventuring, but mostly hidden away. Okay.
Kalandra, this is going to be your end goal.
As you shape this around, you see Kalandra now, her longer kind of dirty brown hair, or dirty blonde hair that she has, where it used to kind of curl in up under itself, you see has kind of straightened itself out with the weight of the length that it's grown out to now. She looks beautiful and elegant as she does, but a little bit road weary. And this sensation, or this look about her, that she has been out of her element for a little while. To see her in her current state, but she does have this like that ever present like beautiful soul that she has that just emanates in whatever plainness she has in her beauty, just shines tenfold in her spirit, and immediately just goes to kind of scoop you up in a gentle hug. It's good to see you.
It's really good to see you, Kalandra. So, stay out of view when you get here. Oh yes, the ginger, the other ginger, Jothrin. You might need to know what he looks like, and she's going to just pop up a little hollow of him.
Yes, and it's an absolutely handsome Squidward version of Jothrin. No, I'm just kidding. No, yes, you were able to depict Jothrin. He seems nice. He's very honest, I can tell. Maybe to a fault. But
I don't know how far away we are. I don't know how far away you are. But
take us up, and you just whoop, kind of like sky view of this area now. It's a rough translation of like your understanding of the land, and then trying to topologize that into like the geography of it, and to just give her an idea of it's like it's a bit northeast of Wafton kind of thing. So she at least gets that. I don't know how far Jothrind is from there. If he's still in Kinghaven, I'm sure he has some time to go himself, and I don't know who he'd travel with, but we're probably gonna make it there first, I suppose.
Well,
I
you,
have
not
to
we.
find, yes.
Yeah.
She like stressfully like nods. I need to send them away somehow or slip them, I guess. I'm not super keen on the idea of traveling alone, but I don't know, I'll do what I can.
I know it's scary, but it's for the best. You can never be too careful, and with what the Queen has been doing and what she's taken, you're better off.
Yeah, Jothrind has been very kind to explain the situation to me, and it's terrible. I know it takes a lot to communicate in that way, but he's been very responsive to me lately, and I appreciate that. I wish I could do such things. I just never learned that ability.
It's okay, we can't be all, know everything.
I would never claim to. I'm just trying to do what is right.
We all are.
How are others?
Oh, well, Rowan, he's like doing very good. Things just keep going on the up and up for that guy. Asher is...
Sure would be a shame. No.
It's only sunny skies for Rowan now. Asher is, I think, trying to come to grips with his place and where he wants to be and his future. He's a lot to think about, and I'm a little partial to that considering he's married to my cousin, Karen. Karen is Karen. I know he's excited to talk to you in person, very much so.
Likewise. His people are so wonderful, and it's I guess now obvious where he gets his charm.
We have a new party member. Do not fear him. And he's
two new
half...
party members, technically. She's not, she doesn't know about Aurelia either, yeah.
Half Goliath and half orc.
Interesting.
He's a good cook. Little too innocent, I think. We will break him of that shortly, I'm sure. And then there's Aurelia.
Aurelia, she like notices the look.
So we'll all be here together eventually. But we'll talk at great length when we're all together. I don't want to unload everything to you now. It would just be better to be here as a family, you know?
I look forward to it. Well, make haste and be safe.
I will. I'm going to get my own rest and show Jothrind what I have showed you. And we'll see you when we see you.
Things have changed so much since I've met you, all of you, and I'm scared. Because, well, I don't know, the way Jothrind talks, I don't think I'm cut out for that, or anything that he thinks of me.
I am glad you're scared. You should be. It'll keep you smart. On your toes. Watching your back like you should.
I don't want to live that way. And Miss Lowell.
Sometimes we grow bigger and there's no going back. But it doesn't always have to be this way. Together we could probably shape something better than what we have now.
I hope so. It seems in vain. All that with Elena, and I just don't understand. Have you talked to her at all?
She's on my list that seems to be ever growing.
Don't wear yourself out.
Yeah. There's also Asher to consider. There's a lot to catch you up on when we're all in person.
One thing at a time. Okay.
Well,
It's good seeing you again.
good seeing you. I'm gonna give her a kiss on her cheek. Rest easy. Be sneaky. And good luck.
Be safe. With that. And with that, we'll end the session. We've got some places to be now. Feels good. Yeah, I wanted to, yeah, new regions. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah. And you guys, I let you choose, all right? You fucking chose Wafton, okay?
It's funny, the memes, the inside jokes.
It is.
I can totally see like that, episodic, like, or was it Wafton? And you're like, fine, whatever.
I'm excited. So excited. We're gonna have
Me
some
too. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're gonna go do a raid and show somebody some love. Don't forget to do all the exclamation points. I'll be popping into the Discord up in the lounge to hang out and chat afterwards if you guys want to come hang out and chat about the session if you'd been there. And then I'll probably be working on trying to get that intro done. So exclamation point Discord if you haven't already. Go ahead and join the Discord. Stick around, show somebody some love with a raid. Look forward to next session. We're getting so much closer to the IRL session, and I have big plans for that one. I have big plans for that one. Big plans for that one. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys want to cry in person? I mean, what? No.
Yes.
Wait, what?
I mean, with the actual standpoint, it's usually easier.
So I can actually bottle your tears and taste them. That's what fuels
So we
me
gotta
as a DM.
stop by Costco and get Kleenex. Got
Kleenex,
it.
yeah.
Surplus.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Wouldn't be a bad idea. No, I don't. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited. I like that we have like. Only you guys could make an episode of Telephone and Dreams interesting. That and the music, I think, is the only thing that makes that interesting. That is key. Imagine if there was no music through all of that. No, I love you guys. You get wonderful. Okay, stick around. We're gonna show somebody some love with a raid. I'm just gonna do the boopity-doopity-doo-doo. Be right back. It's soon. Next week. Soon. We're gonna have dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.